the book of Revelation just continues really this thought, this approach that we read about in 2 Peter, the previous passage. John the Revelator says, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. That's the same language of 2 Peter, but he's also borrowing from Isaiah 65 and 66. This is Isaianic language. This is not brand new language. This is taken from the prophecy of Isaiah. If you go back and look at the prophecy of Isaiah, he's the one that talks about that a child will play by the adder's den, and the lion will lie down with the lamb. Lamb will lie down with the lion, and that the lion will eat straw like an ox, and that kind of thing. That's Isaiah's vision. So it's being clicked and dragged by Peter in 2 Peter. It's being clicked and dragged into the book of Revelation by John the Revelator. The new heavens and new earth. This is Isaiah's language now being reused in the next testament, the next developmental stage, the new covenant. He says, I saw a new heaven and a new earth, and I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven. All right, well, there's the word new again. So, is Jerusalem new? No, we've known about Jerusalem since the book of Genesis. And Jerusalem being the holy city, we've known about that since the time of King David. These realities have been in place, listen to this, for 3,000 years. David conquered Jebus. It becomes known as Jerusalem 3 millennia ago. So, brand new? No, I don't think so. If it was brand new, then the saints who are supposed to be observing these realities taking place in the future, in the end time, would not even recognize this as being Jerusalem. But some kind of way, there's a connectivity. There's the ability to associate that which people were familiar with and did know with that which is now developing. And that means that people who are seeing this are going to recognize this is the holy city. This is the Jerusalem come down out of heaven, perfected, restored, as like the Garden of Eden and all of the other figures like you find in the book of Isaiah. So is it brand spanking new, totally unexpected, weird and bizarre, that no one would ever associate the one with the other? That's not what this text is saying. It's the holy city, and it's the same name, so there's some connection going on. I would suggest again, renewed heavens, renewed earth, and a renewed, perfected Jerusalem coming down out of heaven. And I heard a loud voice saying, behold, watch what happens, because now you're going to get a description of covenant blessing. The tabernacle, in Hebrew, it would be mishkan. It would be the dwelling place. Comes from the word shachan, which means to dwell. It shows up as a verb in the Hebrew Bible. In the rabbis and later, it'll show up in the nominal or noun form, shekhinah or shekinah, the dwelling place. Behold, the dwelling place of God is among men. That never happened before, did it? Yes, it did. God's delighted to dwell with humankind ever since the garden. They heard the sound of Yahweh walking in the garden in the cool of the evening. And ever since, God's primary focus has been to have fellowship and to dwell with men, to dwell together, God with man. And in every place where you get covenant renewal, you get a reminder of, I will be your God and you will be my people. I will be with you to bless you everywhere you go. I will never leave you or forsake you. I won't leave you as orphans. He's with us even through the valley of the shadow of death. This promise of God's presence is what connects all of the covenant renewals together that we find in the Bible, both Old Testament Hebrew Bible as well as in the New Testament or New Covenant. We got the dwelling place of God is among men. He will, watch how he bears down on this. He is going to dwell among them. Basically the same idea, poetic parallelism. We see it all over the place. Hebrew Bible, New Testament as well. And they will be His people. I will be your God and you will be my people. Promised by the prophets in the Hebrew Bible. not new, not weird, not unexpected. And God Himself will, there it is again, be among them. That promise of God's presence associated with a renewed covenant and the next developmental stage. And this, guys, is where we get in redemptive history, where it doesn't get any better than this. This is the direction, this is the target, this is the ultimate aim of all of redemptive history, for God to restore all things to Himself, renew all things, and make this situation of perfect harmony and submission to His Lordship. This is where it's all headed, but it's all one renewal after another that is entirely connected to what has gone on before.